It's Saturday, May 11th, 2024. Well, I got the trailer delivered. I got the nuc boxes unloaded, and I think you probably guessed where they were going. So the plan is Ian is replacing a bunch of queens this year. They're not terrible queens. They're just not something he wants. So I put my hand up and said, "Can you put them in these boxes?" He said he would. So he's going to put a queen and just a tiny little bit of resource in there for them to take a foothold. Because I'm the zombie king, right? So there's 108 potential zombies here. He said that once they get started, he'll let me know what he thinks that he'll be able to provide, but he thinks that probably 108 won't be so much of a problem. So those are, again, zombies. They're not queens that I'm planning to, make a honey crop and winter and stuff like that. Now, everything is subject to the season and subject to change, but James McNally has generously offered some queens for June. And so what I'm going to do is let these zombies grow. And then if James is able to provide those queens in June, then I'll use the resource of these zombies and put James's queens with those. And those will probably, I don't know, depending on how strong they are, they either go in 6 framers or 10 framers at that point, but we'll decide at that point. So that's the plan at this point. So I wasn't sure if he'd be making those today. I came prepared to work, but his workflow didn't line up for that today. So they're just going to take these and do their thing. And then I'll come and collect them. And maybe another day I can come and help put them together too. But I don't want to be in the way, but I want to be as helpful as possible. So I get to go home a little earlier than I had expected. And I'll finish up those pallets and wrap them, and I can probably start loading that trailer today, and then get off to the dipper on Monday. I might be able to actually have a little bit of a rest on Sunday. Wouldn't that be nice? It's a busy week coming up, so I do need some rest. Anyway, now for the trip home. Thanks for watching. It's Sunday, May the 12th, 2024. May the 12th is always a bit of a milestone date for me in my beekeeping journey. I got my first package of bees on May the 12th, 2015. So this is 9 years that I've been at this. And I will tell you, the overriding theme is these bugs have humbled me, particularly this year. I've been humbled. So I can say, though, that any success that I have had is in no small part due to the very good and generous people I have around me in my personal life, in my professional life, and those who share openly in forums that I can take advantage of, such as online videos and conversations, etc. So thank you. Thank you to everyone for your prayers. Thank you to everyone for your assistance, for your wisdom and knowledge, and for sharing your journey. Because each and every one of you has a part in what's going on here. There are parts of many, many different people here in my operation. So having said that, today being Sunday, I am performing a duty here that is urgent and important. I'm loading my trailer so that I can head off on my dipper trip. I just love saying that. Tomorrow. So Monday is the dipper trip, and I need to get this trailer loaded. So I've got almost everything ready. I have one pallet of one stack of pallets I need to wrap still. That's because I had to finish some up here I think it was yesterday I finished them up after I got home. So there's a pallet of odds and ends need to be done and whatnot. So I need to get these pallets on here. I'm kind of looking at something that's was challenging and is probably going to cause me sufficient challenge to undo here. Look what I did. I put all these pallets in my building. This one's just inside the door, and the challenge is that it's higher than the door. So I don't know how, like I can't just come straight out with this. I have to pick it up here as a stack, and I can't come straight out. There's probably, the door is 8 feet, which I can reach 8 feet. So the door is that high. So I don't know if I can maybe go sideways or something, but there's a bin here with some things. So that's going to test my my forklift skills. So I've got those, and I've got product in the other building, and I've got product in this other side of this building. All needs to go. So a little bit of stuff on the trailer here I need to just lift off, and then I can start clearing this out, getting the product packed onto the trailer. So hope you enjoy this. I must admit that's not filling the trailer like I thought it would. I didn't do the math, but I'm just going by the last load I took. Well, last year, not the last load. The last load I took was just covers last fall. But a year ago, I took only pallets, and it filled the trailer pretty well to here. I had one small stack on the back, but then I realized that yes, last year I had 150 pallets on here, and this year there's 118 pallets on here. Actually, I had more than 150. I had 160 because I made 150, 100 two-way, 50 three-way, and then another 10 three-ways for myself. I think it was 10. So there's 160 pallets on there. And so 160 pallets, that's 20 stacks. So I got 1, 2, 3, that's 12, 16. Yeah, so that's 16, 20 stacks will go back to here. And then I had, I forget why, but there was just a few. So what I'm thinking is the main thing here is make sure you don't have any trouble from here to there, and that's strapping. So these two ways are easy. This trailer is nice. I can put a strap anywhere here. I can hook onto this anywhere. So I'll put a strap, 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 strap. But then I've got this, and this plastic wrap, as good as it is, and as much as it really helps, it's not something you want to rely on the highway. So I either need to put one of my metal corner pieces on the top, and honestly, I really don't like those too much because they tend to fall off, and they're kind of dangerous. They're very heavy and sharp. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to take these two courses of covers off here, and I'm going to get one of my loose pallets. That'll line up just about perfectly. I'm going to get my loose pallet, and I'll put my pallet up here on here, and that'll serve the same purpose. So that'll distribute the load down through here with one strap. I'll do the same. I'll certainly do the outside ones. The inside ones, they should be okay, but I could do those too. There's no reason I can't. And I don't have to rewrap them. I'll just take the plastic off down to there, put the pallet up and strap it. It doesn't have to be wrapped in amongst that. So I think I'm going to do all, what is there, 6? There's 6 stacks here that I could do that with. And I have, as a matter of fact, 6 loose pallets. So let's do that. So once again, this interlocking pallet and cover design really saves the day. And that height is within a half an inch of the same, which is not that important front to back. But side to side it is. If you want anything taller, it should be on the inside. Make it strap nicely. Now, this one, again, this is not going to have too much pressure on it with the strap, if any. It'll be captured in there. However, if it's the last one, it could creep this way. That's where the plastic comes in handy. So there might have to be a cross strap at the back here just to keep, because I'm not going to see that from the cab, right? That can creep out, I won't see it. I'm just going to set these here out of the way. flaw in my plan is I have one more pallet load of covers sitting over there. That's a thing of beauty right there. Now the only thing to do is to air up the tires. Tires always, you know, they sit a long time. It's been sitting all winter. Make sure the tires are up and on the truck and the trailer. And then I'll stop in town on the way out, fill up the truck with fuel. So, man, I'm feeling the relief with this project. My buildings are more roomy now, and I'm about to get my paycheck. Very happy about that. This stuff is just beautiful. Yeah. So, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you watching. Take care and have fun. Okay, there is one more thing I need to do before I go. Because I'm selling some of those three-way pallets to another customer, so I've made 18, and I made 10 for myself. I've made 8 for another customer. And it's convenient to drop those off on the way back. I can drop them right off at his yard, so convenient for him and myself. In that case, I need to make sure that I make the wedges for the back entrance of the three-way pallet. I don't have the three-way pallet here to show you, so I'll try to describe. As you know, the three-way pallet is made with bottom board on each side with an entrance in the front, and then a solid back on that bottom board. The center of that, however, has no solid back, and that's so that you can put a wedge in there in the back for entrances on the front, or you can put the wedge in what I call the front so that you have two entrances, one side, one entrance another side, just for entrance diversity if you're using those for mating nucs. So I need to make sure I include those wedges along with the pallets. Now that opening is just over 9 1/8 wide. And so what I do is I actually can usually make these out of just scrap lumber that I have. Anything that's 1.5 inches piece of plank. 1.5 inches works great. I'll just angle the blade on the saw and run it through, and then I have to come back to 0 and run it through again, but it goes pretty fast. So I'll show you here what I'm dealing with. All right, so if I recall correctly, I need to bevel the blade at about 5 degrees. It's Thursday, May 16th, 2024. You'll see my apiary is looking a little less sparse. I've got quite a few more colonies in here yesterday. These are courtesy of a very generous association member that I am associated with in the association. That's kind of how that works, you know. He called me up or sent me an email, and he said, you know, I got too many bees. See, this is a pattern with these formic acid users who winter outdoors. They have too many bees. Okay, I got things to learn. So he says, I got too many bees, and I want to give you 6 of these colonies, and these are booming. These are ready to be split. They have to be split. Problem is, the weather sucks. And I got there, and he said, you know, I don't have 6 that I need to give you. He said, I have 8. So we brought 8 new colonies in here yesterday, and one of them's a double. Thanks to my buddy Steve for helping me move them. And yeah, today it's right now it's only 11C when I came out here. I think that's about 51 or 2 F. So you tell it's not warm, and a little bit of occasional drizzle in the air, a little bit of mist. You know, it's not been nice. It's very wet, and you know me, t-shirt and shorts. I don't like working bees, and he said that these bees can get a little rangy, so not looking forward to that. But what's the plan? I can see them flying even a little bit. What's the plan? Okay, what I want to do is I want to get these split ASAP. I got queens available. I got queens coming. So I need to make splits, and I think I can pull 2 off each one of these 8. So that's 16. I did that math in my head. So I gotta have 16 queens for that, and the courage to actually open them up and do the splits. I also have to transfer everything to my equipment, take his equipment back. So there's that too. Now, I don't want to make the splits into 10 frame boxes. As mentioned, it's still rather cool. So, but I do want them in 10 frame boxes for, approaching winter, and I'd like to do that ASAP. However, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up some of my 6 frame boxes. I'm going to set up a 3-way pallet with a box on each end, not together. I'll set that in place, and I'll make the split into that, and I'll let it grow. And once it's, kind of filled out that box and the weather is warmer, then I'll pull that, put a 10 frame in its place, and then, there'll be no moving the bees around and having to get them accustomed to a new location. So this is what I'm going to do here today, right now, is I'm going to set up that equipment because I don't want to work the bees. I'm afraid to work them at this point like that in this weather. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my hive stands here, and if I run 6, that means there's 24. Just serves my chi to do it that way. I've got my hive stands over here. I prefer to do all that with the tractor, and I think I probably will go get the tractor to do this, so that I can just carry the stands and the pallets and things around without, stressing the old back too much. The stands are really heavy because they're made of 2x6s, so they're kind of heavy. And then I'll scrounge equipment over here. I've got 3-ways that I've cleaned out after winter and whatnot, so I think I have plenty of 3-ways to do the job at that. So I think that's my plan. And tomorrow I might be going to get a few queens, and actually I might be going to get a few of those zombies that are being made up on my behalf. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind week. Yesterday I did some deliveries, and that went well. Wrote a couple of really nice invoices, and then gathered up my buddy and we went and got these bees. Of course, it's good weather for moving bees because the bees are not flying, so you could just go and pick them up almost any time of day. Gosh, I'm looking back at the week. I don't know where I left you. It's been such a whirlwind week. Association meeting, Wednesday. Wednesday was yesterday. Yeah. Oh, just really tiring. I'm very tired, and lacking a little bit of sleep for stress and keeping there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of balls in the air, right? Got to keep them all in the air. But I think for now I'm gonna work on getting this set up for the splits. I've got a couple I could probably use over here. There's a pallet there that's not. There's a pallet there that's not in use, and there's a pallet there. So I can swap those out for 3-ways and just put a couple splits there. Yeah, it's gonna be a real ride here. Things are really gonna start cooking here this week, this week and this coming week. And it's really gonna start cooking. And there's gonna be plenty of work to do for a good 6 weeks until honey flow starts. There's plenty of work to do all the time, but it's gonna be wild. So yeah, so hang around if you want, and we'll put some of that in place. Here's a nice, fairly new 3-way. It's not this year's production, it's last year. I talk about hive tools a lot, and here's a little indication. This is called a J-hook hive tool. I like it. It's got bevels on the end here, this side and this side for scraping, and the J-hook is used to lift up the frames. And this one in particular, you can tell it's a J-hook hive tool by those characteristics. Well, this one you can tell is a Chinese J-hook hive tool because they have a nice bow in them. Well, they don't come from the factory that way, but that's user induced pretty fast once you start using these Chinese hive tools. I don't know if that's a design feature or what, but it's definitely a characteristic. I swear I just heard piping. As interesting as that is, it's not usually something I want to hear in my apiary. I have these three-way pallets. I have, I think, at least 3 iterations of these as I started building them, and I kind of came up with the idea, and I think I pioneered this kind of idea, but you know, it's not kind of what I'm wanting to say. Again, you know from my build videos that I build these with a solid entrance, a solid back on 2 sides, and then one that you can remove and move to the other end for entrance diversity. Well, this one has no back in the sides, but this is a wedge that I just screwed in there because I never take it out. And this wedge I actually screwed in too because I never take it out. I don't use these for mating. I built them to serve that purpose for other beekeepers if they want to buy the equipment. And it's kind of a universal design. So this is, I think, iteration 2 of this pallet, and iteration 3 is what I built this year. Has a solid back on the sides. So yeah, so this one will go in that second spot. Wow, these are heavy feed frames. They're not going to go hungry. So I want to have 4 or 5 frames in each one of these. I'll put 4, and then I can put more once I make the split, because the split might be a 2-frame addition. And that's all that's going on here. So I'm going to get some more pallets, set them up over here by the deadouts, and I'm just going to load them up exactly the way you just saw me do. I've got lots of 3-way pallets there. I've got lots of 3-way boxes, 6-frame boxes here. So I need 16. I've done 4, and I can do the math in my head, so that means I need 12 more, right? Which means I need 6 pallets. So, you know, you just keep doing the math like that. It works. I get it wrong so often, though. It's crazy how often I get it wrong. Yeah, so I'll catch you up. If anything else changes, it's pretty boring stuff right now. But it's going to hit the fan here, and I hope I can do some of these splits today because the queens are here and the queens are arriving. I like to have my splits sit queenless for a period of time, if possible a week. But this is typical May, right? You come into some nice weather, you make all your plans, you order your queens and whatever, and then it rains for 10 days and you can't do your work. So we'll just keep at it. I'm going to have to get that smoker going real good when I start making splits and dress up in my jacket. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, but it's got to get done. Thanks for watching. And thanks for the bees. I really appreciate that.
I don't think they're hungry. They filled that up.
Okay, here's another graft. What are we at?
45 out of 45.
Nice. This is what we expect, right?
No misses. That's what I told you. No
There's
misses.
no pressure at all.
Doing this without any flow, I mean, before dandelions, is
Yeah.
pretty good. Would you want to pull out that frame? This is 44 or 45? No, this is the 30.
No, this is the 30.
This is, oh, here it is.
30
You
is
want
right
to pull
there.
this one in?
Yeah, this is my next year try. Grafting.
Try it this
Oh,
year.
Yeah,
This year already?
Sure.
sure.
No time like
You can
now.
only fail.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My
The
expert
worst that
at
can happen is you get nothing.
Oh, look at that. Eh?
So these are going to be transferred.
Sweet.
When do these transfer?
Well, I'm grafting into bee today, so 3 days
3 days from now, we got to get that incubator going.
and cleaned out.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
they're
have these
tearing one
builders
down.
just popping. Well, there's one that's not. Tore that down.
Yeah.
The rest look pretty good.
And why would they tear it down? What would their reasoning?
They know best, I guess. Yeah, we try not to understand sometimes.
They're just not happy with it for some
Yeah.
reason.
And if they don't like it, I'd rather them tear it.
Yeah,
Look at the development of those cells.
those are beautiful. Look at the jelly.
Oh, that's
It's
sweet.
just packed.
Yeah. Look at that
Absolutely
jelly. There
packed.
isn't one missing jelly in
Yeah,
there.
all the
Look
way
at that.
down.
This one's a little low.
No, it's still in the cup though. I'd say that's pretty good. She's used what she needed.
So those are, what, 3 days away or so? 3 or 4 days away from emergence?
To transfer into incubator.
These are,
And then,
they hatch on the 24th.
24th? Okay, my
Busy
guess
on
was
the
a little bit
22nd.
off.
Yeah. So we have these builders just popping. There's 3 frames of brood, eh, Carrie?
yep, 3 frames of brood. And this, no, this one was knocked down to 2 frames of brood because it was too
brood.
much.
And we have 6 pounds of bees in them. So that's, we're confining them a bit to 6 is just easier to work for one thing.
I like 6s for builders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 10s just seemed like too much space.
You
in
can
there.
get them feeling congested easier
Yeah,
in a
that's
6,
just
right?
it.
You just
They-
pack them right in there.
They'll hang lower. So we'll put another graft in this and then we'll just break it out into nucs.
So are you still running a box of foundation under there?
Yep.
Underneath
Is that what
the-
you're doing? Yeah.
Just to hang.
Yep. Somewhere to put bees.
And then which is your,
That one.
can you take the lid off again? Which is your, this one's honey, right?
Yeah.
And that's empty?
Yeah.
And then honey on that one?
These 2 are brood. Sorry. That one's an empty.
Empty. Yeah, we like to have the bees transfer syrup into an empty. They're always feeding.
Yeah.
Always transferring. Their stomachs are always full, so
Yeah.
they're always producing wax. And by using the 4-day rotation, all these bees are always making jelly.
Mm.
There's probably pollen in these too, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're always building, always transferring, always eating, always producing. We can get a lot of work out of them. We'll do another frame, maybe even 2. If that last graft goes through nice, we might even do another one if it's kicking it
Yeah.
out.
So do you think this feeder allows them more bulk access to that syrup than a jar?
It just doesn't drip.
Yeah. So I've been feeding with jars, so.
Yeah, it'd be no problem.
Yeah.
And it's just you're taking pails off all the
And yeah, you got good access there.
But
I
doing
find
this
with the amount of brood and whatnot I want to get in a 6, sometimes I'm thinking, I
Yeah.
want pollen and I want my graft frames and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm thinking, geez, I wish I could get another frame of brood in there or something. But with 6, it can be a little tight.
it is a bit tight, yeah. But doing that with no flow, like look at her robbing.
Yeah,
Bastards, eh? She
yeah,
got
they
some
are.
flow. So just imagine what we can accomplish if we have a flow.
Soon.
Soon.
Thank you. Yep. I'm gonna be shaking them, so.
That's your cleaning the cells.
Yep.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, they clean and they polish it because.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just right out of a bag.
I haven't really done that. Maybe I should try, see if it makes any difference for me.
It seems to, like, just grafting directly out, I have less of an acceptance, but if I let them polish it, it's
Yeah.
better acceptance.
Cool. Well, I'll leave you with it. Thank you. All right, Steve and I came over for a load of the zombies, and they're all spread out here. We've left a couple for catching the stragglers, and we managed to load 54 in the truck. Now, carrying these in a closed truck is not my favorite thing, but I've got the windows open, as you can see, so I'm hoping that they're going to be okay. The boxes are not chock full of bees. So hopefully they're going to be all right. And so again, we got 54, and you know what 54 is half of? Did more math in my head. It's half of 108. And if you remember, that's how many I brought. So we got half of them in here. What's left is predominantly the little wooden boxes. And so they stack much better. They're 4-frame and not 5-frame boxes, and they're not tapered like a Pro Nuke. So you can see the little wooden ones here. So the next load is going to fit a lot more easily, but the Pro Nukes are not as high profile, so they stack 3 high easy enough, and the little wooden ones, you can just see them back here. That's only 2 high, so I think I could get 3 in there, but we'll see when I come back for the rest. So hightail at home now, and then I got some queens too, so we got to put queens in the hives tonight. So thanks for watching. Zombies are home. At least half the zombies are home. I didn't get pallets set up for these, so they're just on the ground. So now I have to put in, I gotta put in a dozen queens, so we're just gonna do that in the splits that I made yesterday.